just thought I'd film a quick update. I haven't touched base in a while, and truthfully I've been off YouTube for a week or two, probably 2 weeks. Been totally distracted with our sick fur baby Mittens, and she's been my sole focus at the moment. So I've read some of your comments, but not all of them, and I endeavoured to reply to them ASAP. It's just been completely consuming what's been going on with Mittens, and unfortunately she has been diagnosed with cancer, and we've been told that we've only got a matter of weeks left with her. So it's been very emotionally draining. I've pretty much been at home with her since we found out, and since she's been back home from the hospital. She spent a week in ICU. We basically took her into emergency because she wasn't acting herself. She seemed a bit flat and just not well. So we took her to the vet, and it turned out that he did an ultrasound on her stomach and saw what looked like a tumour. But the vet we took her to was pretty hopeless and said, look, bring her in tomorrow and I'll cut her open and see what I can find. Gave her antibiotics and anti-inflammatories and sent her home. But then that night at about 8 p.m, she was crying out in pain. She was moving around, she couldn't get comfortable, she was in a lot of pain, and so being nighttime, we had to rush her to the emergency all hours animal hospital, which is 40 minutes away, and they kept her overnight. They did blood tests, another ultrasound properly, because the vet we did an ultrasound against her fur, which won't give you an accurate result. Her belly needed to be shaved, and she needed to be have blood tests and try and work out what's going on before having an operation, before cutting her open. The vet we saw kind of was shocked that the other vet was happy to just cut her open the next day and do an operation without even finding out what was going on. So she was given morphine and an IV overnight, and then the next day we were told that it was a tumour, and her white blood cells were very low, which was an indication of an infection, and she was anemic, so they didn't want to do an operation on her there because they don't have the capability of doing blood transfusion if need be. So I had to rush back to the hospital the next day, pick her up and take her to another hospital, which was 40 minutes away, all while I'm bawling my eyes out because I just terrified of losing her. And so took her to this other hospital. They did surgery that afternoon. They told us that it was a mass in her intestine and that it looked like her intestine had ruptured, causing an infection, septic peritonitis, I think it's called, where the contents of the intestine obviously leak into the abdomen cavity and cause an infection, which is a very serious and life-threatening condition. So it was an emergency surgery. We were told it could cost up to $15,000 to do the surgery and to keep her in ICU for as long as it took. But of course we were wanting to do everything we possibly could to save our girl, and she's only 8, so she's still quite young, and at that stage we didn't know whether it was cancerous or not, so we obviously wanted to try and save her. So she spent a week in ICU and she did really well, recovered quite well from the surgery. There was a chance that her intestine wouldn't, they obviously removed the mass and stitched her intestine back up, and there was a chance that her intestine wouldn't heal properly and would break down again and the septic peritonitis or whatever it's called would happen again because of her low protein. She also had low protein, which I forgot to mention. Obviously, you need protein to encourage healing. So she's been through a lot. We've had her home since Wednesday last week, and she's been doing really well. She's herself again, and she's happy. She's giving Tim lots of cuddles. Beautiful girl.
He's so cute.
She absolutely adores Tim, so we're just so grateful to have these few weeks with her, and you know, it's obviously been devastating knowing that we're going to lose her so soon, but you know, we thought for a moment that we wouldn't have any time with her at all, so I'll show you. You're a good girl. You're so brave, huh? You're so brave. You can go outside. Go outside in a minute. Anyway, I'm taking her back to the animal hospital this afternoon. Tim's going to meet me there after work, and she's going to get her feeding tube removed. We've had to feed her via a feeding tube 4 times a day, which she is obviously very uncomfortable having this thing around her neck. So it'll be good to have that removed, and her stitches removed as well. We're both hoping that she's going to be eating enough on her own, but you know, at this point in time, she hasn't got that much time left, and we just want her to be comfortable and happy, and we're going to keep an eye on her in the coming weeks, and as soon as she starts to show signs of not being her happy self, we'll have to make that heartbreaking decision and get her put to sleep. But it's just been tough. She's our first fur baby, and Tim's had to put animals to sleep in the past. Obviously it doesn't get easier, but I haven't had to before, so I'm going to be a complete emotional wreck when that time comes. It's going to be heartbreaking, but last thing you want is for your animal to be in pain, and you have to do what's best for them and be selfless. The type of cancer she has doesn't respond well to chemo. We found out a couple of days ago that it's T-cell lymphoma, so it's very aggressive, and we just want her last days or weeks to be, you know, we want her to be happy and at home and comfortable and not going through chemo or, you know, trips to the vet. It's not what won't make her happy. So that's what's been happening. TTC and IVF have been on the back of my mind. Obviously, I've been distracted. I do have my rheumatology appointment coming up next week, I believe. No, I think it's the week after, actually. I think I just needed a break from the internet. I haven't been on YouTube very much at all. Instagram, I have been on quite a bit. All of my posts have been about Mittens and updates about her, so nothing, you know, my life, it feels like our lives have been kind of revolving around her at the moment, which is, you know, she needs us right now, and we just want to soak up as much time we get to have with her as possible, because she's a beautiful girl and we're very sad that this has happened. Yeah, animals do become a part of your family, and it's awful to see them sick and unwell. We just wanted to be happy. It's just been really hard. But anyway, you don't need to see me cry right now. It's life, isn't it? That's what life is. You know, everyone's last day will come, and as depressing as that is, it's just what happens, unfortunately. Anyway, I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for all of your comments on my last video. I have yet to go through them all, as I said, but I've seen a few of them, and there are so many suggestions and lovely comments, so I look forward to reading them all. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you for your support, and I will be on here more regularly in the coming months, I promise. Love and baby dust to you all.